Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. What's up? What's down? What's right? What's left? Welcome back to my YouTube channel if you've been here before, but if you're new, welcome. Newly, in a new way. Anyway, so I've got another assignment. It's just, never ending assignment. So I got an assignment to talk about debate. So let's just get right into it, shall we? What is debate? So, debate is a formal discussion of a particular topic in a public meeting or legislative assembly. So, I think debate is kind of like there are groups of people that agree to something and then disagree to something. So, basically, there will be a topic that is given to them, and they will either agree with it or disagree with it, and they should give evidences on why they agree and why they don't agree. I think that's in my vision, my opinion of what debate is. Before we get into the kinds of debate that I'm going to talk about, let's talk about like the little basics of the debate. Honestly, I'm not really a debater, so forgive me if I say a lot of things wrong in this video. Let's talk about motion. So what is motion? In my own definition, motion is the topic that is given to the debaters. Maybe the example is like this. This house believes that music industry is rigged. So the government team or the positive team will argue that it is indeed music industry is rigged. While the opposite or the negative team will not agree with that. They will think that no, music industry is not rigged. After the debaters got their motion, they should build a case. So what is the case? Case is a series of arguments that is backed up by an evidence. So the debaters will be given time to build their cases. So like they will think about, oh, what makes the music industry rigged? What are the evidences that makes the music industry rigged and all that? And the opposition team will be building the case where they find evidences of why the music industry isn't rigged. If I'm not mistaken, as far as I know, debaters will be given the motions beforehand, like a random list of motions, so they will search the cases before they actually enter the competition. So we know like the basics, the little very tiny basics of debate. So let's get into two kinds of parliamentary that I will talk about in this video. There are actually a lot of types of debates, but I'm just going to talk about two because we're running out of time here. First is the British parliamentary debate, which has four teams. First is opening government and then opening opposition and then closing government and then closing opposition. And each team has two debaters, so in total there are 8 debaters. And these debaters all have 5 minutes each to speak their arguments. Second is the Asian parliamentary, which has 2 teams. The team is the positive one and negative one. So in the positive we have the prime minister, deputy prime minister, and government whip. And on the negative one we have the leader of opposition and deputy of leader opposition and opposition whip. And in Asian parliamentary, as far as I know, they have 7 minutes to talk about their arguments, especially the 2 first speakers in each group. Meanwhile, the last one will have like about 4 minutes to replay all the arguments that they have, like the arguments that did I just forget about accent? The arguments that the previous speakers has spoken about. So that's what we call replay speech. I think that's the 2 things, the 2 parliamentary that I just talked about. It's just very simple explanation, honestly. And then after that, let's talk about what a good arguments are. Good arguments should be A-R-E. Assertion, reasoning, and evidence. So assertion is the statement of the argument. So like, what is the argument here? We need to explain it, and it's usually on like the first speakers, and then the first speaker can actually kind of like foreshadow what the second speaker is gonna speak next. In reasoning, quite self-explanatory reason, like the explanation of the argument. It could be the first speaker or the second speaker, depends on the parliamentary as well. Last but not least is the evidence. Obviously, if you want to have a good argument, you have to know like all the facts, the statistics, to make the judge or the adjudicator believes more in your arguments, and so that your arguments actually make sense and is credible. So make sure you have good evidence and also the previous things. Honestly, once again, I don't know much about debate, so I think that's all I can say for now. I hope my sentiments will be fulfilled by this video. Thank you so much for watching.